It is October 23rd, 2020, about 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and it's cold. Probably 40 degrees difference from yesterday. So it's rather uncomfortable, but I wanted to come out here and shoot a video on a tree that's kind of special to me in terms of my botany class. Really doesn't have a whole lot of significance in the forest in terms of frequency, how often it occurs. You don't see it very often. Density, not a whole lot of trees in an area, and certainly doesn't get very big in terms of girth and diameter. So um, most people are not going to pay too much attention to this tree right here. I'm going to tell you what it is here in a little bit, but let me just look at it with you. The bark is rather distinct in it. It's much different than yolks that we've taken pictures of. Certainly doesn't look like a black hickory or a hackberry. So there it is. Look at it. It's almost peeling like a birch tree. But look at those little belts, circular belts that go around the tree. That's rather distinct. So doesn't look very good, does it? Almost pretty ugly, kind of torn up. And then the leaves right here, let's see if we can look at it. I was just looking at some leaves in the lab, and they're very soft on the abaxial surface. The shape of them is almost elliptical, aren't they? Looks like one leaf per node, right? Simple leaves with one leaf per node, or what I've taught as you guys is maybe, well, if it's one leaf per node, it's what they call alternate leaf arrangement. So I don't know how many more days this tree is going to have its leaves, but I don't think by Sunday or the first rain we see, they're going to drop really quick. So they're done for the year anyway. The photosynthetic part of their growing season is over. Another thing I wanted to point out is the back sides of these leaves are really, really soft. And if you look at the margins, they're very serrate, very pointy serrate, very sharp. So alternate leaf arrangement, simple blades, kind of an elliptical shape, pinnate veins, serrate margins, and abaxial surfaces which are very soft. So maybe you could recognize it if you see it next spring. I'll certainly recognize it. And there's the bark again. I don't want you feeling sorry for this tree, even though it doesn't seem to have great importance in terms of those three areas I just mentioned a few minutes ago. In March, I am just biting at the bit to get out here in the forest and see some life. And even in March, every day you'll walk in here and you're still going to see a barren forest other than the cedar trees over here. So it's a barren forest, but maybe late March, keep looking, drive by the forest or enter the forest, you may see some small trees with just lit up with white blossoms, perfect flowers, 5 petals in both male and female parts, but it's really kind of a sight. They're real easy to find, and it's kind of the first sign of spring. So you know things are going to start developing. So that's really a cool moment when I take my students out to the forest and they um, see those flowers. Last year, the 3 or 4 or 5, whatever number of Mexican plum trees we have, they didn't produce many flowers, so it wasn't really lit up, but they were there. But I've seen them in the past where they're really, really pretty. So let me tell you what this tree is. It's a plum tree. I mentioned Mexican plum. The Latin name for it is Prunus mexicana. And unlike sand plum, which grows in a thicket, these trees are solitary. They're small trees, and they're pretty easy to identify. It's one of those plums that actually flowers first and then leaves out. So they take care of the reproduction first, then take on the photosynthesis second. The same as the redbud tree. Redbud trees, which follow the white blooms of this tree, flower first, then leaf out. So there it is. That's a Mexican plum, Prunus mexicana. I'm going to walk over here see if I can find another one. And another thing that's kind of a cool sign of spring. If you look at the understory here, following the anthesis of the flowers on Mexican plum, you'll see an understory of Cornus drumundii. They're the first ones to leaf out. So another good sign of spring. So don't feel sorry for this tree. It has a lot of significance in my mind, and it gets me excited during the spring, knowing that spring's right around the corner. So there it is. I'll hold off on the other Mexican plum. I don't know if I can find it right away. As I mentioned, they're kind of infrequent. There it is. It's kind of sad, but think about what's going to be like in the early spring, late winter. Thank you, and God bless you.